Why hello, I'm Tim of Berd, and I'm joining you with a few of my good friends. Here at Berd Jewelers, we believe that watch collecting is more than just a matter of accumulating watches. It is a full immersive lifestyle. We live it, we love it, we eat, we breathe, we sleep. And of course, we accessorize. Berd Vaye horological sculptures are hands down the coolest way to have fun with watches that are not on your wrist. A combination of reclaimed components from watches and clocks spread over about 150 years of horological history. These are quite literally living relics of another time in watchmaking history, and they can live with you in your home, in your office, as a gift or, frankly, accessories to your collection. Join me for a tour of Berd Vaye, the sculptures and the methodology. Berd Vaye horological sculptures are created by two lifelong friends and watch enthusiasts, Albert and Eddie. Founded in 2014, the goal was to elevate the restoration and reclamation of vintage watch and clock parts to the level of fine art. The sculpture we have right here is called Time Squared for obvious reasons. I know, time cubed, but it's a fun name. Constructed of lucite and multi-layered, it is a fantastic reimagining of the parts involved, involving several steps, all amounting to roughly 1 month of work. Over 2,000 individual components are included, and everything starts with the selection process. Early on, Albert and Eddie decide which parts are of sufficient aesthetic qualities, condition, and grade to be used in the product. Ultimately, the parts are cleaned, denuded of oils, corrosion, marks of age, bent, damaged, or otherwise disfigured parts are discarded. Those that are retained are cleaned minutely and even refinished right up to and including resatination and polishing. As you can see, the product is composed of layers of lucite, and this deserves a little bit of explanation. PMMA, effectively a thermoplastic or acrylic glass, can be optically polished to the point that it is not just translucent but truly transparent. Once the parts are sorted, cleaned, and refinished, the process of pouring the lucite begins. Now, the sculptures start as an initial pour, a single layer into which the initial components are inserted. Additional layers are added, slowly building up the product much like a sandwich of lucite. Once the product has been built up to its full size and mass, then comes the process of curing. An oven of up to 1,000 degrees potential is used for 24 hours, first to cure the lucite, but also then to create a seamless matrix so that the individual layers are not visible. However, because of the orientation of the components, from certain angles you'll be able to see that there are distinct and discrete layers within the sculpture, no two of which, from layer to layer or from sculpture to sculpture, will ever be identical. Once the curing is done, hand finishing begins, and this is where the truly transparent qualities of the exterior lucite are completed. Shaping is also perfected during this product phase. It's important to note that in the month necessary to go from the bare parts to the finished product, approximately 21 pounds of componentry is brought to a mirrored, transparent, and utterly breathtaking finish on the Time Squared. Now, the evolution of Berd Vaye was on display on December 15th at Sotheby's Important Watches, where this, the latest product from Berd Vaye, known as the Galaxy, auctioned for over $8,800. And to put that in perspective, the high bid estimate was $6,000. The retail price is $7,500, and at over $8,800, the eventual hammer price spoke to the level of desirability, but also the growing interest in Berd Vaye's horological sculptures. Now you can also see the advancing of the state of the art as the individual spheres of watch components, much like a galaxy, populate the interior of the Galaxy cube. Now physically, dimensionally, in terms of mass, it is identical to the large Time Squared. However, the process of creating the cubes also includes a little bit of proprietary secret. There's more to it than just lucite and old watch parts, and that's sort of the secret sauce that I can't discuss at length. But the bottom line is each one is extensively handcrafted using a proprietary process that makes Berd Vaye not only of immense interest to watch collectors, but a genuine point of fixation and a beguiling companion for fans of fine art itself. Berd Vaye understands that, in a manner of speaking, size matters. Not everyone is ready for the full-sized Lost in Time, which is why, for Time Squared and Lost in Time, respectively, there are multiple sizes. Now, we saw Time Squared in its full size a moment ago. There are also smaller versions of the sculpture available. Each of these is crafted using the same process. Absolutely every step involved in the full-size model is available in the diminutive. Now, you can see Lost in Time speaks to a sense of purpose in these sculptures. As you can see, the concentration of the components reclaimed would be in roughly the brain cavity of the skull. And that concentration, whether composed of watch parts or in the full-size clock parts, is part of the internal logic and also, frankly, the internal humor of Berd Vaye. Now, you can see the complexity of the sculptures. While Time Squared is fairly conventional in its geometry as a cube, you can see that there is an immense amount of contouring in Lost in Time, and almost all of this is finished manually. You may think, well, it looks like a molded skull. Defining the features of the skull relies extensively on handcraft. It is quite literally sculpted from the lucite, bringing the shape forth from the raw materials. So, whether your size preference is medium or large, Berd Vaye probably has a horological sculpture for your needs. It's also important to note that watch collectors, being notoriously difficult to shop for and gift, love accessories related to watches. Are you going to guess what the watch idiot savant in your life wants? Probably not, and that's not going to end well if you try. But a Berd Vaye horological sculpture is always the right answer. For Christmas, for birthdays, special occasions, it is quite literally the best way to accessorize the watch collector in your life. Now, Berd Vaye has a broad array of shapes and sizes for its horological sculptures. Of course, you've seen Time Squared. This is Time Squared in its smaller size. And, of course, you've seen Lost in Time, the twin skulls. Here we have Passage Through Time and the Horosphere. Horosphere is available in two sizes. Again, Berd Vaye does not believe one size fits all. Passage Through Time, however, available solely as you see right here, might be the single most gripping use of an hourglass form since Dorothy and the Wicked Witch. Now, what's going on here? Well, you can see it is an hourglass, but an immovable hourglass. It is not just a passage through time, it is time frozen. It also gives me an opportunity to focus on some of the artisanal aspects of Berd Vaye sculptures. These are all limited editions, and every single Berd Vaye limited edition features an internal, hand-finished, and ruby set sterling silver individual numbering plaque set within the clear lucite with the components. It's part of the individual character of each Berd Vaye sculpture. No two, quite literally, are exactly alike. You have the random placement of the components, the flow of the lucite, and of course each one with an individual serial number. With many forms and many sizes available, Berd Vaye, which is available on govbergwatches.com, is the ultimate gift to the watch collector in your life, or a wonderful way to accessorize your own office. After all, sometimes the best gift you give is the one you give yourself. Every Berd Vaye horological sculpture includes a certificate of origin, a set of polishing cloths and handling gloves, and a deluxe display box that is felt-lined and robustly constructed so that when stored, your Berd Vaye sculpture is amply protected, and when on display, you can in fact retain the box as part of the display conceit. A gorgeous way to package a gorgeous product. It is truly like buying a watch with a comprehensive and engrossing boxed set. Thanks for joining me for this tour of Berd Vaye, the horological sculptures. And when it comes to accessorizing your watch collection, the answer is clear. Berd Vaye is the ultimate gift to the watch collector in your life, or the watch collector in you. Time out, Tim out. Thanks for logging on.